You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good evening and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. And hello, Tamara. How are you?
Managing. How about you, Al?
I'm managing too, but managing for other reasons. Managing because it's winter. It's just not wanting to end here. You know, we still got snow on the ground.
I'm sorry to hear that because it's not that circumstance out here. We have no snow, which isn't great either. And after listening to Dr. David Suzuki today, my whole vision of any future possibilities has just been totally eliminated.
It's
pretty doomy. And he's given a pretty doomy forecast because we didn't listen to climate change. So
I know that our pond is getting a much needed refreshing.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, and it's been super no precipitation out here. A bit of rain yesterday, but we're not getting enough. Yeah. But like I said, normally we should still be sitting with at least minimum 4 feet of snow on the ground. And we didn't even gotten 4 feet of snow this year at all.
No,
No.
Yeah, you said you got the opposite of what we got. So.
I mean, there's lots of rocky, there's lots of snow on the tops of the mountains, the snowpack. The snowpack's not as heavy and as hard as it normally is either. We've had a lot of avalanches and a lot of deaths because of avalanches this year because, the avalanche warnings go up and, people are told stay out of the backcountry. But anyways, we've had a few loss of life out there because people get caught in avalanches because they're out there with their snowmobiles. And anyway, but that's, the unfortunate. But you know how people are, right? Don't like to be told what to do, right?
So tonight on the show, we've got some studies as well as some information that I think, especially the first thing we're going to get to, information that patients here in Canada could use when it comes to their medicinal cannabis. And before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and Facebook.
And Facebook, yep.
Facebook, you got to share.
Yeah, no, I mean, even being a cannabis patient, I cannot keep up with the cost because I can't grow my own. I don't have access to, and I'm sitting here.
I just want to go back to the Facebook part again. And that is because Facebook says that we don't fit community standards, and they're no longer going to recommend people watching us.
I got that on mine too. My page.
So
I'm going to recommend you in the FYP.
Yeah, I'll just keep plugging away, and with the news show, it's news. It's the same news articles that we post online that other people post online on their sites.
I know, I find the same thing, but I did a TikTok before the show saying, hey, we were live on paceradio.net tonight at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 6 Mountain Standard, and I do that every night before we go live. I do a TikTok telling my 3,000 plus followers on that platform that, hey, this is another platform you can come to. So we can just we've been doing it for this long, and it's it's all been word of mouth. It's all been word of mouth.
I was talking to a guy today on Messenger, he was just sending messages back and forth, and he said that I don't see your shows anymore. And I said that's because Facebook stopped recommending them because.
Well, and here's the thing too, Meta just
sharing patient stories and giving out medical information, and
but again, they've really targeted these social media platforms about kids being addicted. And so they're really cracking down on anything that's going to be appealing to children. And we've already know how that goes when it comes to anything with cannabis, right? Because they're not ever marketing it for what it is. They've always marketed it as being something that's wrong, when in
yeah,
reality it's medicine, right? But
we had
they've never marketed it as that. They've already always marketed it as reefer madness, like it's bad for you and it's bad for kids and it's bad about this and it's harmful and all these things. When in reality, we all know that we have
mhm,
children that have benefited from the use of cannabis because of their medical conditions. But
we
again,
see you now.
louder, Health Canada hasn't recognized cannabis as medicine.
Yeah, the even YouTube got into the action here. Within the last week, the show that broadcasted on Friday, it had I was involved in an interview with two people who help people with with medical cannabis, and they help children. And I got a notification that they removed the video. I went, what? These people are telling this story, telling how they've been helping people. And that includes some kids that have come, parents have brought their kids because of seizures and stuff like that. So they were sharing that end of the story, and YouTube didn't like it.
Well, the United States said they were going to reschedule, which doesn't make it easier. It makes it harder for anybody to get access to it.
Yeah.
And in reality, when it comes to anything, like we had for example, we were talking about my grandfather being a gold miner. Okay, how my great grandfather worked in the Blakeburn mines. We were
Yeah.
on TikTok, we were on a live, and we got community violations because we said the word miner, which they've
Right.
TikTok
Right.
flagged as being talking about people under the age of 18. We were
As a
actually
youth, instead of somebody who that's what they are. That's
I
their
got shut down.
occupation.
Yeah, and I got shut down, got a community violation. I wasn't allowed to go live for over a week. And we were literally talking about my grandfather working in the Blakeburn mines during the Second World War. We were talking about our heritage. And all of a sudden the word miner, because it's flagged on the I guess must be flagged on the
Yeah.
algorithm if you use that word.
Algorithms, yeah.
It was ridiculous, but I guess because they're being so diligent, because so many lawsuits are going against these big corporate social media platforms, and they're having to pay out billions of dollars to families that have, their children have committed, unaliving and have been addicted, and they're paying out billions of dollars. So they're being super diligent, like censoring really everything that everybody's saying. It doesn't matter. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all of them. The only one that's not is, Donald Trump's Truth Social. Yeah. That's the only one that you can get away with saying whatever you want on is Truth Social, I'm sure.
I got booted off of one platform. They said that it looked like they said the news show was the one that was the issue, and well, they kicked me off the platform. I'm still running. We're still running on that platform, just in another way.
You can say, like I said, the censorship now
and doing it for no problem whatsoever. So, like, obviously, things it grabs things differently. So.
And I think it's really strange the fact that cannabis has been legal in Canada for what, 10 years almost now? Like, well, yeah, 9, whatever you want,
7,
whatever, 7. Excuse me.
But
we still have these barriers with banks and working within, like, I mean, it's not so bad in Canada, but even like in the United States with the states that have their legalized states, right? But again, the stigmatization, even talking about it on social media or educating people on any social media platform, or even going to anywhere for advertising, because it's not allowed to be advertised in any way, shape, or form because of cannabis legalization. It's really stigmatized it, I think, in a different way.
Yeah. For example, a lot of our times, our sponsors have been hydroponics stores.
All of our sponsors have had to hide underneath the guise and aren't allowed to advertise. We've lost sponsorship. And when we've asked I've been looking for other sponsors because I know we need them. and I'm told we're not allowed. I'm told that would put me in jeopardy because I'm in the gray still,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'd love to, but unfortunately, if it puts us at risk. And I understand that because there are people that are still working in the gray, helping people
Mm.
in the gray, because a lot of, like, let's face it, medical has been legal, but we still don't have the access to medical that we need, because the
Well, yeah.
edibles and the things that we're getting in the stores aren't, like I said, like I can't, I'm again, like I said, I'm sitting here with no cannabis 3 days before payday. I can't grow my own, and I can't afford I mean, I don't have, I mean, I can get by on $40 a day, right? To keep me, but that's $40 a day, and I don't always have $40 a day.
Yeah, which
Meanwhile,
is
I have
worth out to $1,200 a month.
right, and I don't have a car anymore. They came and took my car.
You're right. Yeah, I've seen that online.
So I gotta look for a ride, or
Right. Yeah. Well, talking about money, just to remind everybody, it is tax time here in good old Canada. You get your income tax filed, and when it comes to patients, you can do some claiming on your income tax. When it comes to
only
the
if you're buying from a licensed producer,
you
though.
have to qualify, correct? Yeah.
And that means you have to have a license, and you have to
I can't hear you.
show
What's
your
that?
license, and then you have to attach all your receipts from the licensed producer that you have, like a licensed
Yeah,
producer. We're
yeah,
not
you
talking
have to.
about the
I was
store.
gonna do it. I was gonna do it slowly, but that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be a patient, licensed patient here. You have to purchase from the licensed producer. You can't go to the store. You have to be at a licensed producer through their system, and at that point, then you can claim your cannabis. Now, what can you claim? Let's see. What can
It's
you claim?
ridiculous. You can claim up to
See,
$300.
yeah, seeds are claimable. Did you know that?
Hmm?
Yep, seeds are claimable.
Yep, I knew that
Yeah.
too. But you have to also
Okay.
buy them from a licensed producer, right? Like you
Yeah,
have to, but you can't claim any of your grow equipment, and you can only claim
correct.
up to, I think, $300 of your medicine, which is
Um,
ridiculously low.
yeah, it says eligible expenses includes amounts paid for dried or fresh cannabis, oils, plant seeds, and related products purchased for medical purposes from the LP. So medical products, would that include, like, why not, like, do LP sell vaporizers, bolts and stickles that bought by Canopy?
Maybe I haven't.
Um,
I haven't looked, because they have their own websites. Like if you're a patient,
oh,
you'll have
okay, yeah.
to have a, like when I was with Broken Coast, they would send you a link to a website, and you had to have a client number to get access to that
Yeah.
page. And then what was available for the patients was available on that page. And then they had a recreational page, right, that was available for rec market. And there, I don't recall, but that was before those
Now, when
were
you went to the patient end of things, was there an accessories section that you could go to?
yeah, oh yeah,
Was it?
yep, yeah, oh yeah, yep, yeah.
Okay, well, you might be
You could buy batteries and pipes and screens and all that kind of stuff. Yep,
myself, yeah.
yep.
Now, as far as people who are growing their own cannabis, you can claim your seeds that you purchased from a licensed producer, but as Tamara says, your growing supplies are not. So that means the cost of soil, nutrients, grow lights, pots, and electricity don't qualify. Let's see what else. Okay, they say one nuance worth knowing is that certain Health Canada approved medical vaporizers are considered medical devices and are therefore claimable.
That would be something like a volcano.
Correct, exactly.
And that was something that because of actually Lisa Kirkman taking my vaporizer into a hospital, and then it was like and then there was others that went, after her. They recognized the vaporizer as one of the only, when they first when they first allowed it, one of the only recommended vaporizers on the market. It really, because it had already been like tested and taken apart, made sure it wasn't like going to be exploding or be like, you know what I mean? Like they took it all apart at the Medicine Hat Hospital. Yeah, it was certified by Alberta Health Services. Yeah,
Yeah,
had a sticker on
I
it.
know of a lady here who's no longer with us anymore. Rest in peace. Buddy. And she fought compensation for access to a volcano, and she won.
Yeah.
So workers' comp had to give her a volcano.
And that's probably thanks to Melissa out in
Yeah.
Nova Scotia, but she's been fighting with workers' comp for years. And that woman has finally, like, we should probably try and get her on as a guest pretty soon here, because we're going to run out of time with her because she has her May date set.
Now, there are some dollar figures and some limits and things like this when it comes to your claiming. And then there is a certain forms that you have to fill out, like your T1s. They say that your medical expenses do not have to align with the calendar year. And they say that you can claim any 12-month period that ends in the current tax year.
So 2020.
And it says for couples, it often makes financial sense for the lower income tax partner to claim the medical expenses, since a lower income means a lower threshold for more of the expenses. And that was where the dollar figures I just mentioned above shortly ago, because they talked about people who make $50,000 a year. There's a certain threshold there. And then there is another one as well. And it's something about spending $2,500. You can claim 1,000 of that. And, like, you're not getting all your money back. If anything, you're gonna get some of the money that you paid back. You paid in taxes. Is what you're.
Let's put it this way: my husband paid over $30,000 in income tax last year, and he got less than $3,000 back, and that's with using my disability tax credit.
Yeah.
So.
What else? So this article, for anybody who's interested, you can go to the Psychedelics and Cannabis Educational News. Actually, here, I'm just going to put it in our chat.
The link in the comments, yeah.
In the comments. I'm just going to put it right in the comments. Yeah. For the people who are watching and you're interested, how you can file your income tax for
and
purchasing.
Don't be ashamed to bring it up with your whether it's H&R Block or TurboTax or whoever's doing your taxes, because you're a licensed medical patient. You're using it for medical need, even, you know what I mean? Like, do not claim it if you are buying from a licensed producer, have your medical patient paperwork, and don't not claim it. You need to claim it.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not using that system myself, and neither is, but again,
no, yeah, I only ever bought an ounce.
We've already discussed that. But again, if you're using that system, do not be ashamed to take that in and get the money. Like I said, even if it's only an extra $50, if you're in that low income bracket, that $50 right now is really going to matter to you. Because with the price of everything going up, including cannabis, because I went to one store where I normally go, things haven't, but then I went to another store that I normally go, and everything went up by $1. Because the price of cannabis is going to go up because of transport too. So when fuel prices go up, our medicine goes up. And that's a factor for people that when they're patients that can't afford medicine as it is. So the joints that I was normally buying for $15.99 have gone up to $19.99 because of the price of fuel. So that's made it more affordable for me to be able to get my medicine, right? And I'm having to buy from the local cannabis retailer because my res is shut down. And I refuse to buy through licensed producers. I just flatly fucking refuse. Even though I'm buying from the cannabis stores, I will not. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Bryn's right. You got to exercise your rights, or they'll just take it off the books, and people won't use it. Won't even notice it's gone. And good day to you as well. Let's see what else on that. It's in the chat. Take a look and see if you can claim your medical cannabis. Now, it mentions about people who are growing their own. Like for myself, I'm not registered with any LP. I guess I'd have to find an LP that had some seeds that I would be interested in.
But how would that work?
How do you find out?
Well, that's what I'm not understanding, how you would purchase seeds from a licensed producer if you're growing your own, because you have your grow license and you're not registered with a licensed producer then, because you, but well, I think you can register with a licensed producer while you're waiting for your crop. We could always do that, remember? You could buy from Health Canada, you could buy crap from Flin Flon, remember?
Years ago. Exactly. That's why I bought my
exactly. So I'm assuming it's probably the same type of thing where you applied for your grow license and you select a licensed producer and buy, like 1 ounce in your seeds from them until your grow starts.
Couldn't you register with could you not register with a licensed producer with just your number?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I think you would have to do it at the time of your licensing. Like I think you'd have to have your
I hate to register with a company and they don't have any seeds. Or very limited supply of anything.
Well, you'd have to do because when you get your licensing, I don't know who's signing you up, you kind of have to do your own research on what producer you want to sign up with, right?
Yeah. I'm not surprised, Bryn. Buy the seed. That's they've done that in the past, just even in stores. There's one breeder that I know that I've dealt with in the past that they sell them, $5-6 a seed. It just depends.
I'd reach out to Matt Barron. He's still the great gardener, right? Him and Sarah Campbell. I would reach out to him and find out what seeds he's selling when what licensed producer those great gardener seeds are going through. That's Kim and Kurt Tusaw, right? So Matt would be somebody you could reach out to personally on Facebook. Find out from him who's what licensed producers are selling him and Kurt seeds. If that's one route, you could check that stuff out. Because
I guess he's just a supplier, not a.
Well, they like I said, they're a licensed producer, but they still have to package and whatever. And
right, but couldn't somebody just register with them?
I don't know. You could ask. You might be able to ask Matt that. Like I said, or you know what I mean. Like I don't know because I'm not in that industry, right? Like I'm not.
I know.
And I know that in British Columbia you can do farm to plate now. So you can actually you can have a store on your property now and sell cannabis directly to
the farm gate stuff.
Right, like you can directly sell to anyone. Like not anyone, but
we have that here. There's not very many of them.
No, I don't think there's many of them here either. But I know that's available. So I'm not sure. You might be able to. You could phone and find out. You know what I mean, or email them and find out that all you're going to do is hear. Maybe they can explain to you then how. But I'm not sure. You might have to.
How much do they sell them for?
That's a good question. Google it. We could Google it. Let's Google it.
That's what I did. I grabbed my phone.
I'll Google it right now. I'll Google it. How much does a license per dollar? How much does a license? How much are seeds from LP in Canada? Let's find out what it tells us. It might say they don't sell any seeds. $30 and $60 for a pack of 4. Is what it's telling you.
So up to $15 a seed.
Seed packs typically cost around $40 to $60 with popular brands like 34th Street Seeds, after retailing roughly for $55 for 5 seeds in some provinces. Prices can vary with packages common listed around $45 to $60. Example: Tweed, One Leaf, and Weathered Island. Seed type: feminized and autoflower seeds are standard in the legal market, which contributes to a higher price point per seed comparing to bag seeds. Some provincial retailers have limited inconsistent stock. The regulations often restrict sales to 4 seeds at a time. So that would be pretty much Bryn's just put it up there. But that's so the legal market only, because you're only allowed 4 plants. So they're only going to let you have 4 seeds. And if those 4 seeds don't pop and generate for you, then you got to buy another 4. But yeah, that's the regulation. 4 plants, 4 seeds. That's not saying for a patient, right? Like,
Right.
this is for how much are seeds for seeds? I'll put this in for patients. For patients from an LP in Canada. We'll see what this one comes up with. How much are seeds for
I see it's
patients?
got some stuff there that's from. It's a big message there.
That's the Google. That's exactly what I just read.
Yeah.
He's just copied and pasted it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we get 3 to 5 seeds for $30 to $60 as patients. We're varying depending while patients purchase directly from LPs. Other utilized Ontario counties or specialized seed banks that offer feminized autoflowered small packs, 3 to 4 seeds, $30 to $52. Large pack, 8 to 10 seeds, $60 to $100.
Well, the last,
But they're still only selling you like 3 to 6 seeds.
The last ones that I bought off of a breeder, they were $6 a seed, and with a minimum order of 5 seeds, so there's $30. Well, I'll tell you, there must have been 20 seeds in that little vial. They were really generous with their seeds. So in the end, I got my money's worth, and even though I couldn't claim it as an income tax end of things, it didn't matter because I get more than.
Well, like at the end of the day, like, does it really, like, income tax to me? I don't write anything off really, because there's like, I don't even write off my medical expenses because it's just a pain in the ass. And my accountant told us the minute you start like doing that is the minute they start looking at you. So when you start like, because then they want proof that you like, even with these stupid medical things that I've got for like saying that I'm not working. Now I got another appointment with my doctor to fill out more forms because this insurance company wants more information about why I'm like disabled enough to not work. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You put on there basically can't function, never going back to work, signed it off by my doctor, and now they want more.
More.
Like,
oh yeah, they're never happy.
And here's the thing, like, they're not paying me. This is for a fucking loan that I want the insurance company just to cover the loan payments. Like, they're not paying me. It's not like I'm going for disability. This is me just paying, like, asking for them to cover the insurance on my loan that I've been paying for.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know how you pay for that when you get a loan? You pay for job loss and whatever, right? You pay
extra
there's
money. Insurance that you can buy, correct?
Yeah. So we pay for that. So I'm pulling it. And what a fucking fuck around. I've been off work for a year and I still haven't got it figured out. I'm digging around this basket because I got a fucking package. I went digging in Alvin's drawer and I found like a little baggie full of fucking seeds. So now I'm like digging around.
Sounds like you got a bunch of containers in there that you're digging through.
Well, I just want to make sure I can find them because at $6 a seed, I'm not going to sell them, but I sure the fuck don't want to lose them.
Did you hear what they did over in Japan? Bryn's going to love this. Hear what they did over in Japan?
No. I did not.
They have banned due to them classifying CBN is banned. They announced that it is a designated drug. CBN. It's a designated drug. It's banned in Japan.
Well, here's my fucking whole point. If you quit ripping the plant apart, like with all these distillants, like quit it. Like just stop it. Stop ripping the fucking shit apart. It's not a mind altering anything. That's ridiculous. But you got all these people that rip it apart, and then let's face it, THCA causes hallucinations, and people have died from it. So when you have that, because you've ripped the fucking plant apart and you've taken that part of the plant and had it be harmful.
Yeah.
That's what's causing this.
There's CBN, just like Bren says, it's degraded THC. Like it's people go to sleep. They say
Somebody must have died.
patients will have
I know,
access.
it must have caused a death for them to do this. Like, what's the backstory on this? Like, what caused them to do this? Like, what was the cause of, like, what was the effect that caused this? Because I mean, it's terrible that they've done this. I don't like to hear any time that anything having to do with cannabis has been banned from any country, but it's not legal in Japan.
Japan's not known as a hotbed for cannabis. I can tell you that.
No, I mean it's the same in most Eastern Asian countries, and I don't know why, because historically it was made there. Like, you know what I
mean? I'm just seeing if they say why.
Yeah, like I said, I know everything you're saying I agree with, Bryn, but again, at this point in time, I just wish people would quit ripping the fucking whole plant apart and degrading it and then causing it to be harmful, because that's what's happening. And all this salts and all this fucking salvia and fake shit that these kids are getting, like, it's giving cannabis a bad name. It's ruining cannabis for its real medicinal purposes, because everybody's making it into things it's not, and it's harmful. Like, cannabis isn't harmful. I don't mean it that way, but some of the stuff that's being made from it is causing effects that are causing it to be making cannabis look bad on all levels.
7 years in jail
in Japan.
Yeah.
Holy moly. That's a pretty hard.
So if you got some old degraded cannabis, like this,
I got some in a fucking old can. That's actually a Calgary Flames stash can, and it's over 20 years old. It's moldy and gross, and I've just left it in there. I would never smoke it, but we put it away when we moved, and I found it digging around in stuff a few yeyears ago. I think it's in the back of Alvin's store. How old is that stuff?
6 years old.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty sturdy.
I know, eh?
But again, like, that's why we have this no expiration on these fucking on cannabis, right? Because you got a bud that looks like that's 6 years old. They can probably throw that in a bag and sell it. Especially if it was in the
I was at my friend's place. We smoked a joint, and he said, "You like that?" And I said, "Yeah, well, I had a good taste to it and all that." So he says, "You want some?" I said, "Okay." So he gave me a little baggie there. And then he tells me it's 6 years old.
Oh, well, maybe cannabis doesn't have a fucking expiry date then. What do you think? What do you think of that then, Al?
Yeah, well, it just keeps it with humidity packs. That's what he's done.
Was it? Did he have? Where did he store it?
In a sealed container, in the dark.
Okay. So now I can't find this pack of seeds. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh no.
Did you hear what they did here in Ontario when it comes to cannabis store?
Angie was telling me something the other night. Go ahead and tell the audience.
Okay. A few weeks ago, the AGCO sent out a letter to the stores here in the province, and the AGCO looks after the cannabis end of things as well as the alcohol. So they sent out a notice to all the stores, the retailers, the owners, and said that they couldn't use the word dispensaries, that they were a dispensary or anything along that line in their promotion, advertising, on their websites, all that stuff. They threw that out, told everybody all this, and then business owners started to complain about that.
That's the language, please.
And the reason they can't use the word dispensary is because dispensary is connected to medical use.
Yep.
You can't claim medical use for cannabis. So they went ahead and did all this. They got enough backlash from everybody. Like, I know that the reel that I posted about it, the numbers on it were huge, but there was so much complaint and backlash about it. within like 4 days, they reversed that decision.
Well, it costs the store owners a lot of money. Like
Yeah.
to change their name, because then they have to change not just their name, they got to change their GST registration number because that's the business name, and under the corporate, if it's an incorporation, they have to change all that paperwork too. Never mind their signs that are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Those signs that go above your stores are not cheap.
Yeah,
Like even a fucking banner behind banner behind you probably costs like $500. Like seriously,
the stores received these notices, and then they had to scrub their websites, all that stuff, all their literature, and all that. Started that process, and then turned around
then they
and said,
changed
"Well,
their mind."
Yeah.
Oh, Dougie Ford, he wants, he's getting to be close to old Danny Smith, wanting to be able to pick his judges. Like, what the fuck are they on? Any of them?
So
they can't even get the Cannabis Act right. They were trying to do anything else. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So now we can call them legally now in Ontario. We can call a cannabis store a dispensary. And really, come to think of it, how often have you ever received a prescription from your doctor, and your doctor says, "Hey,
go to the dispensary"? Never.
They say, take this to the pharmacy.
You go to the pharmacy. Yeah, not a dispensary. Dispensaries are a really old term, like from like the 20s. You know what I mean? Like pharmacies were called dispensaries back like in the 20s, but not like they're all pharmacies. I don't know.
Any stores now can have dispensaries. Include that in their literature or for their algorithms to be grabbed.
And how much did that cost the Ontario taxpayers?
No, I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Right, but how ridiculous! All that hubbub over a fucking name that just cost the Ontario taxpayers probably $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like, just ridiculous waste of money. Like, these people are stupid. Okay, I'm going to lose my mind. I can't find the receipts.
Can't find the seed. Did you find them?
No.
Oh, you had that big triumphant sound there.
No, that was a dun dun dun. I don't know where they are.
Oh,
they were in this basket. I'm not gonna do it on the show because then I'll just rip everything apart, throw it everywhere, and then everybody will know how crazy I really am. But yeah, it's true. It's just ridiculous. Some of the regulations they have, like even with the fact that they're going into the Wet'suwet'en Nation and shutting things down and then having to block things off, and I don't know what to say because this is all provincial conservative governments that are doing it. Like Nova Scotia's Tim Hudson, right? Like he's just gotten elected.
Yeah, we report on what's going on there.
And that's crazy.
What's going on down there.
And they weren't like that before because they had a liberal provincial government. The liberal provincial government never said a thing.
Nothing to them, eh?
And then as soon as they got that fucking conservative guy in there, Hudson, all fucking hell broke loose.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. Like, I mean, when it came to the fires and stuff, like I talked to Deb recently, like they're still like getting a lot of help and stuff from the province for that. Like even she can't, as much as she doesn't like them. Like when it came to the fire, the province was there, but so was the Red Cross and a lot of other NPOs. But when it comes to this cannabis, fucking almost like a witch hunt. You know what I mean? When it comes to the First Nations and their cannabis dispensaries in Nova Scotia, I feel it's a witch hunt. I think it's disgusting and disgraceful.
Yeah, it's not good. That's for sure. And the fact that the good thing is that they are standing up and fighting it. They are willing to take this to court, and they aren't taking it laying down.
No.
I think we've talked about this in the past about the fact that it's the fact to see someone is standing up and we'll take this to the court and fight it in order to make that decision loud and clear right across the country that they have treaty rights to do what they're doing.
Well, I know the Piikani Nation in southern Alberta just got another 21 new RCMP members going out there, and they are not happy. They're integrated in with their band police, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they're RCMP, and the comments were just unreal on the thread from the RCMP announcing this, right? It was like, stay the fuck off our land. Like, it was brutal. And
Well,
again, I don't blame them.
I know during the raids at Tyganega, a lot of the community people, like the messages I was seeing on the local police Facebook page, yeah, there was a lot of local people that were quite upset.
Yeah.
About it.
Well, yeah, because they're overstepping. They're fucking the line. Like, you're a federal police force, but you're going on to territory that's not yours, and you have no jurisdiction there, nor should you be on there enforcing Canadian law on jurisdiction that's not Canadian. Like, I wish people would understand that. Like, I don't know. It's not hard for me to understand.
And unfortunately, it's going to take somebody to challenge it in the courts.
And they will. And they absolutely will.
Yeah.
And I hope that, and I know that they've got
a challenge.
Yeah, they've already had one win already in Nova Scotia. They've already had the one win where everything was. But again, this is going to have to go all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada. This cannot be just like. And again, it depends on how they were. If there was anybody charged, if they've got a lawyer that's willing to take it all the way, I hope that they do.
Yeah, well, it sounded like it. I know that.
Well, John's not here. John's not working no more. Like, that's the thing. Conroy's retired. like RPQ that went all the way for the Smith ruling, and all our decent has retired, right?
Well, I would imagine the band council down there, they have council in mind that will be challenging it.
I hope so. Well, yeah, I'm sure they do. Which is good.
Right,
like I said, it needs to be done more and more. Yes.
Okay, what do you say we take a break?
Sure. We have to thank our sponsors, especially, Hydroponics store.
That's right. Limestone, they're always good with me.
Limestone, yeah.
They're always good with everybody. And
I follow them.
Commercials. Their promo says that they deliver in the Kingston and Greater Kingston area, which they do, but they also deliver outside of that area as well. And I'm outside of that area, and I order something on Monday. It's usually Wednesday, like within 2 days, it's here at my house. So,
I will say the mail service has gotten better, because even when you were mailing me stuff, it was here within 4 days when it used to just take 10.
Because I can't drive to Kingston for if I get charged $20 for my delivery, I can't drive to Kingston for $20. That's a 3-hour drive for me.
Oh, is it that far from you? I guess it is.
Well, right? It's 3 hours return. I should say return.
Again, that's an hour and a half one way. Like, that's still that's still a drive. It's not like you're just driving to the corner store, right? Like, in your own town.
Yeah, it's not. No.
Right.
No. I like to go for a visit. But when I place my, you place your orders online, I call them so I can just talk, right?
I follow them on TikTok, and I always share all their stuff so I can get their, because that's how you kind of get people to follow them, is if you share their stuff on TikTok, right? Yeah. So they're on TikTok, but they don't share a lot of cannabis stuff. That's how they're still on TikTok. They show their lettuce and their micro, greens and their house plants and all the other things that they offer at the store, besides another great education on medical cannabis. So there's so many benefits to going to their store, because you can buy a house plant, you can get your microgreens, you can buy, and then get an education on growing cannabis. It's kind of like a great place just to go and hang out.
It's not in the promo, I don't think. But they even sell mushrooms like lion mane and stuff like that. They don't sell
Yeah.
psychedelic mushrooms, but they sell
No,
other mushrooms.
mushroom kits. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they sell
That's
all
so
them.
great.
Yeah,
And then you
in a
also learn like
bag and all that.
your lights and all your soils and stuff, and
Yeah.
they'll teach you how to grow like vegetables too. Like they got vegetable seeds and that kind of stuff too. Like they're very very versatile, and I think you'd look at them more as a garden center than just a hydroponic store because they've got
Correct.
everything to grow vegetables and everything too. So they're like a little garden center. I kind of like that, especially since they
Yeah.
got the house plants in there too.
Yeah. I got
As you
I've
can
got
tell,
a
I kind of like house plants. As you
yeah,
can
you
tell.
do. All right.
Look
All
around.
right. Well,
House
we should go for a break, and then we come back. We'll continue our discussion. I've got some numbers on some the cannabis because we're talking about cannabis purchasing for medical patients at the beginning of the broadcast. When we get back from a break, we'll talk about a little bit of numbers when it comes to medical cannabis and what's being purchased. So, all right. Other than that, well, we got a message. Oh, yeah, it's good to see you as well, Brent. And other than that, we will see you in 3 minutes. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats. And look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario. Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420. Rerolled Saturdays. Check it out. Nothing but non-stop cannabis and psychedelic programming. Find it at 420pace.ca.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And you're back live with the Pace Radio Show. We got about half an hour left. Wrap things up. I got a few things for us to discuss. And before the break, I mentioned about some numbers for medical cannabis, because we were talking about income tax at the beginning of the show. It says that medical sales of dried cannabis for medical purposes have declined by 5% quarter over quarter and 16% year over year.
I think that's got a lot to do with access to recreational stores.
I would agree with you. Yeah.
I think it's not that the medical patients have stopped using medical cannabis. I think that they've just given up on trying to find a doctor that's going to sign for them to begin
Mhm.
with. And or their doctor has said, like mine did, well, you've got access to 30 grams a day. Why would I sign you for 15?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any difference if she signed me for 15 or I could go get access for 30. The price is still the same. You know what I'm saying?
What
Like,
if you're yeah, and even if you bought through an LP medical end of things, like register with an LP, doesn't mean your price is going to be cheaper. You
it
know,
could be
you're
more.
paying more
It could be
buying it
more.
through the store versus a
Yeah. Well, that's what I was told when I first, like, when this first kind of got going, is that some of the prices for the same strains from the same LP were cheaper in our recreational stores than they were
yeah,
online. Like, they were selling them for like $11 a gram online for the patients, and they were like $9 a gram, like at the store type of thing. You know what I mean? A difference of
yeah,
$2. So you'd buy, and I mean, they don't come in grams. Like, you can't. I don't know if you can buy grams. The smallest I ever buy is like 3.5 grams, or a container with 5 or 10 joints in it, right? So
yeah,
I don't
three,
know,
three
but
and a half. Those,
yeah,
yeah,
like, I don't usually buy anything less than 3.5, because honestly, that's 2 joints. Or, a couple, like, it's not a lot of cannabis, right?
well, I
So,
I had I had these recommended to me. They're not joints. Well, they are joints. Sorry, they are joints. But they are all hash.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
There's no cannabis in it whatsoever other
Oh yeah,
than the
yeah, yeah,
trichomes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't tried any of that at all, because like I said, like,
And it's a 2.5 gram package.
yeah.
They
And
say
even
it's
like, I
equivalent
don't
to
have a
8
pack.
grams.
I don't have a tube down here. I usually throw them in the garbage, but I think the 10 packs that I buy are usually like
Yeah.
3.5 grams too. Like, I buy 10 joints from, it's Pure Sun Farms, and it's
Right.
Pink Kush, and it's 10 joints for 15.99, which I think is a good price, and it's low on
10
the angle
joints
that
for
I,
fifteen
you
ninety
know,
nine, $1.50 a joint. Wow.
yeah. And then I
$1.
buy from another one from Pure Sun Farms. That's another 10 pack, and it's 18.99, and it's just a different strain, right? But I
Mm.
usually, because I mean, I know they're, and there are other ones that are a little more expensive. You can buy 10 joints for $35 too. But right now, when I'm on the, where I'm sitting financially, I'm looking for the cheap, and they're decent. Like, they're not
Mm.
bad. So,
Yeah, I usually just buy oddities because I don't smoke joints in my house. But I'll use a vape cart in the house.
yeah,
And I don't make hash joints, so I bought some hash joints.
that
But
would be cool
I
to try
don't I
out.
don't I don't buy much in the way of cannabis from the store.
No. Well, I mean, when you grow your own, you wouldn't need to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And again, like, I mean, we buy
Well,
vape tips and stuff too, and they run about $34 or whatever, but we also pay a 20% vape tax in British Columbia.
right.
And like I
Yeah.
said, right now everything's going up because of the price of transport. So, and it's not just our food and our fuel, it's our medicine too.
Hmm. Now, talking about going up, they say that sales for edible cannabis, this is in the medical cannabis stream only, okay? Um, Actually, it increased by 30% in the third quarter in 2024, but it only went up by 6% in 2025. But it's on the upswing.
Wow. I think more people are ingesting gummies. Like, people will eat a gummy before they go to
Right.
bed.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah.
that all the time. Like, not during the day, but they'll take a gummy right before bed, or they're using it for
Before
sleep,
bed.
or yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Topical sales, they just remain flat.
I
But
don't I don't
but they
know.
showed a they showed a 15% increase from year to year. People probably buying a topical the
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, I've sold, like, tried to promote a couple salves, and from friends of ours, and it was always like a one-time purchase, and then
mm,
had nobody ever come back for more. And it was like, I mean, I use it too, but I mean, I don't find it ineffective. I just, I like it, so
mm,
I just keep buying it because it's from somebody I love. So I keep, trying to support her too. But nobody ever came back to buy more. Like, it
uh,
wasn't like I ever had, like, actually, it's not true. I have one person that has come back and bought more, but they use it so very sparingly that they make it last like a year.
okay, now here's the next interesting number. The sale of cannabis plants. Did you ever see cannabis plants available from your LP? Like I realize they're not available from all LPs, but
I've never heard of them being available from any LP. And I know when I started working at the garden center, that was the ultimate goal, that we would get licensed for a nursery in the back of
yeah.
it. But because of the children that would have access to the whole store, it was good. It was like, it was almost impossible for anybody to get a license for a garden center for
Mm.
clones. You know, and when they set up
I know of a store that's got a license and they've got plants growing in the hydroponics store. I go look at them
do
every
they have
time I
any?
go.
Yeah, do they have any?
It's not our sponsor, Limestone City Hydroponics.
No, but I'm wondering, do they have an 18 and over sign on the door?
No?
No. They're licensed to do that? They must have had to just jump through the hoops. I'm not sure. Like I said,
from my understanding, it's a designated license at the store.
yeah, I'm sure they have them. But like I said, because I got such backlash from one of the managers, and Shannon got such backlash, and somebody else that worked there, we just never even bothered to attempt.
With it, yeah.
No, never went anywhere.
Now they are secured. Like you can't grab them.
Well, no, all you'd have to do is put a fucking door with a whatever on it.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're
in the back of the store, and you have to ask somebody for access to get there. Like, it's not difficult. I don't know.
The cannabis plants through the medical stream for the previous quarter, they said that the sales were down 54%, but year over year, the sales are up by 53%. So they're selling them somewhere.
Not where I could get them.
Yeah.
Unless they're mailing them. But again, like
that's through that's through the licensed producers, right? It's not through the.
So they'd have to mail them. They would have to mail them to you.
They would have to mail them, yeah. Now are they just mailing their rooted clone? Like, is it just in a what do you call it? A Rockwell?
No, they would have. You can. No, there's all kinds of places that transport plants. You just have to have fragile, keep upright, blah 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 on the boxes, and they just wrap them really, really good in in 2 cups kind of thing with paper around. Like even just a house plant, they transport them like that all the time. But you have to wait till it's warm enough to get them. Like, you can't mail them in the wintertime. You're gonna get you just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it's not doable. It's definitely doable. But again, you have to wait.
Oh yeah. Warm. Like I've actually transported plants from a heated space to cold to heated space for a distance of there might have been 10 feet in there, but it was really cold in the wintertime. Yeah, it killed them. They didn't survive.
I ran houseplants from my trailer down to like there was one trailer in between us in December. And I wrapped them in blankets and we put them in boxes and we did everything we possibly could to make sure that they weren't going to, we ran them and they all died. Every single fucking one of them.
Here's something that we've always known. We've known it, but it has to be done. Alcohol and tobacco cause more harm than cannabis. We've always agreed, always said all that stuff. And this was a Canadian study. Alcohol causes more harm to society than any other drug in Canada. Ranking above tobacco, opioids, cocaine, meth, and cannabis.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. But alcohol consumption has also gone down, and people aren't buying it as much.
It has gone down. Yeah,
hugely.
It's gone down. It's gone down here across the country. It's gone down in the States where there's medical cannabis.
Well, I think the fact that people have access to cannabis now, they aren't drinking as much, and I think that's great because it's causing less harm, less impaired. Like, you don't hear a lot of drunk drivers killing people as often as you did in the past. And you're not hearing every weekend, somebody's getting, mowed over, and you don't hear about a lot of bar fights in this town anymore, where it used to be a regular occurrence.
All the time, eh?
But again, the lack of money and the fact that we're dealing with a younger generation that isn't drinking to get like a lot annihilated. And I hear that more and more, like even from my 16-year-old, like he's not even interested in alcohol. He thinks it's disgusting. Like, and usually at 16, you're kind of like, oh, and I know some 16-year-olds that their parents drink. Mind you, me and Alwyn don't drink. That could be, another reason why he's not interested. But he also has seen people that do drink and how they act, and he's like,
yeah, I was never a big drinker, so
I just never really. I did when I
probably
was
at
younger.
16. At 16, I was, yeah, I remember. I got somebody to get me some Colt 45 from the beer store, and we went down to the river. I was actually visiting people in when we did this, and drank them. And was I ever sick? Like, yeah, I just people look at me and they say, "Gee, you cough when you smoke that. How can that be enjoyable?" But getting sick is much worse.
For 3 days sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some people get super like sick. Some people are allergic to alcohol to the point that they drink and they turn into complete lunatics too. Like, you know what I mean? Like complete lunatics. And that's the unfortunate thing, right? Like, oh my God, this world.
No, they say that they say this with this study, it's the first time criteria decision analysis has been used to access drug farms across Canada. They say 20 experts from 6 provinces evaluated 16 of the most commonly used psychoactive substances. Alcohol received an overall harm score of 79 out of 100.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
The next highest was tobacco at 45. Almost like half.
Yeah.
And then non-prescription opioids, 33 out of 100. Cocaine was 19 out of 100. Meth was 19 out of 100. And cannabis came out at 15. Yeah.
15 what?
They say that these align with previous studies conducted in the UK, the European Union, Australia, as well as New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of these numbers are really crazy. Like when you think about the validity of it, right? Like, and when you really think about those are people. Like, not just
they're saying here that a scientist from the Institute of Mental Health Policy Research explained that the scores reflect population level harm rather than individual risks.
I saw a video recently where somebody was coming out and talking about this cannabis hystesis, right? And how cannabis caused him to have schizophrenia.
It caused what?
Him to have schizophrenia. It caused him psychosis.
Yeah.
Did you? And I was just like, what in the fuck is this? So again, here we've got somebody that probably had already pre-existing, problems that cannabis accentuated possibly, but blaming the cannabis for it and making cannabis look bad for everybody that needs it for other reasons. It just, the one bad apple you don't put in the pie.
Yeah.
They
say alcohol is high on the list because of its widespread use, whereas the other substances are lower on the list because there's not as many people who use them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't really know the exact numbers of cannabis users either because there's still people in the closet.
Yeah. Okay, they say the 16 types of harm evaluated included short and long-term physical and mental health effects, social harms such as loss of relationships and employment, and fewer and wider impacts, including economic costs, environmental damage, and international consequences.
Wow.
Oh yeah. They say that they emphasize that drug-related harm extends beyond the pharmacological effects. Yeah. Collateral. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, all kinds of information. It gets into some more numbers and some UK information.
And the UK's like what, legal for cannabis medicinally and to a certain degree, but not
Medicinal.
recreational. Yeah.
And it can be a bit of a hoop jumping experience.
Well, it's still a
Um,
hoop jumping experience here, even though we've had a program for legal cannabis since 2000.
well, theirs is what I look at theirs as being way behind ours, so they have more hoops to jump through.
Oh, I don't
But they
doubt
they
that.
had they had even when ours was legal here, there was a patient that I know from UK that was in the news that was getting their cannabis oil from Canada illegally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get access. This is for their
No,
child. They couldn't get access for it in the UK.
no, and that's the thing. Like the fact of the matter that we can't, and it's like such a, it's a federal like huge charge. Like if you ever get caught,
Oh,
the
the
to
amount of
be able
money, yeah.
like
It's
to
huge.
manage it, like I mean, like I said, I did 6 months house arrest for 4 grams. It was detrimental to my health, my life, everything. It's
Mhm.
ruined everything. I can't travel to places I'd love to go. But again, this is what cannabis has done. It's not harmful. People need it. People try and send it to help other people, and then they have to deal with the repercussions that cost like thousands and thousands of dollars for legal fees, and
Mhm.
and then you do it, and you know it's worth it. But in the end, was it really worth it?
Yeah, I know. Some people risk a lot. They want the
We
access.
did. We do risk a lot. Like I said,
Yeah.
like no, like Owen Smith too, and Ted Smith. Every time he gets stuff taken away from him, and every one of us, like Sean Howell, and all the people that, and myself that have been charged, and Amy Brown that were charged back in the day for all the things that we were doing to help patients.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of people. Lots of people. No
Right?
doubt about that. A lot of people took a lot of risk in order to change the law.
You included us
Yeah.
going out and standing on the streets screaming about legalization, smoking cannabis openly in a
Well,
public park when it wasn't legal.
talking about that, why don't I show a little music video before we end up? I'll put it on right now. We'll talk about that. And it's a video of, I don't know if I showed it last time we were live or not, but it's on the Global Marijuana March in Toronto. And it's
Yep,
just
I
not
think we did say that the last time.
yeah. Okay. All right. Then I won't play it again, man.
No, would you? Yeah,
All
no, you
right.
did
I'll
say it
play
because it was in the park. It was Queens Park, and showing the
Right.
fact
Yeah.
that there's all the vendors and all the people that would come out, and
The
how that
march,
doesn't happen anymore.
the amount of people that came to the march, tens of thousands of people.
Well, look at even the Vancouver like art gallery and all the global, like even the global marijuana marches we had in Lethbridge. Like we
Yeah.
started with 50 people, then we ended up with 500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just only grew until
The
I
ones that
wasn't
they were
there
having at the
anymore.
art galleries, the art gallery in Vancouver, it was huge. It was
Sunset Beach in Vancouver. Like
yeah.
they had like and all the parties, like I'm looking at the fact that Afro Man, okay? Let's go back to Afro Man. Afro Man was at one of the events that was held, right? That
Mm,
we would go to that normally would we had like what's his name? Mike Rita, who's now a comedian at the
comedian,
Mum
yeah,
event.
yeah.
And he's amazing. And now he's like he started Vapor Central, which doesn't exist anymore either because you're not allowed to have vape lounges, right? Like I don't know if I think Vape Central still is existing
Well,
actually.
the yes and no. There are a legal lounge. There is a legal lounge, Lit Research in Toronto, that does research on cannabis, and they'll have people come in. I know, like one of the studies that was in the news was about them doing research on cannabis and music, and how it was affecting people. So people would come in, they'd be consuming their cannabis, and they'd fill out a report on how.
Well, we all know that that was the best thing we ever had, was places that we could congregate and smoke and not have to worry about the police, and, you know, have a soft drink or a bottle of water, you know, and not have any, like, there's no licensing for liquor on the site because nobody wanted to drink liquor. That's why we would go and smoke and have a comedian, have entertainment, bands, like just like a bar. Only it's a lounge for vaping. You know, even like Vapor Central had a volcano sitting on the table ready for your use, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I always enjoy going to them. There was never any problems or issues like when I was there, and used to go quite often.
That was the best thing. Like when I was first taken there, Chris and what's her name had it. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But they owned it at the time, and you know, I got there. I was coming in from Alberta, first time ever seeing a vape lounge, and the swing vape, right, with the dabs. It was new. Where
yeah.
So that's how I got greeted at the front door by Chris and a big dab off the swing vape, right? And I was in awe, literally a country bumpkin walking into downtown Toronto, which was amazing as it was. And then up the stairs and into this beautiful, like this lounge where there was people and couches and everybody was just relaxing and music playing and they were all smoking. And the environment was like no tension, and it was just calm and nice and welcoming, and
yeah, that was Chris and Aaron. So.
Aaron.
All right, talking about lounges, I've got a quick report here. It's I don't know, it's 2 minutes. All right, just give me a second here. Click. That'll go bigger. Oh, there it is. All right. There it comes. Right there. This one is coming to us from the Free Press, and the headline there says, Equal Representation, Cannabis Advocates Push for Public Pot Zones. There are hookah lounges and smoking zones, and now advocates are pushing the provincial government for public places to consume weed or cannabis. The Cannabis Business Association of Manitoba is calling on Premier Rob Canoe to green light public cannabis consumption spaces. Stephen Stairs, the organization's founder, has planned a rally outside the legislature on April 20th. The association has few members, but keeps in touch with owners of roughly 100 businesses. Steve Stairs says that we're just looking for equal representation when it comes to access. It's about cannabis consumers being treated the same as an alcohol consumer. If, he says, a public cannabis consumption space means regulating buildings, then cool. If that means adults-only areas at specific cornered-off areas of public social gatherings, great. Now, Stairs offered baby steps, such as allowing for edibles and cannabis drinks in public places before committing to smoking. Now, British Columbia has designated public spaces for smoking and vaping cannabis, including in non-specific smoking areas. Ontario, it allows use in some public spaces, such as parks and sidewalks. I know on sidewalks, but I'm not sure about the park end of things. Now, Manitobans can use topical cannabis products in public. Topical, okay. Now, the Liquor, Gaming, and Cannabis Authority of Manitoba isn't aware of any moves to broaden public consumption, a spokesperson wrote in the statement. Now, the Justice Minister, Matt Weebu, who oversees the liquor, gaming, and cannabis portfolio, said his office hasn't received requests to amend the consumption laws, and any decision would need to balance Manitoba's health and social considerations, he wrote in a statement.
Well, Steve
Yeah.
was a good
So
one going after. Like, you know, he's been around. That's great, but you know what? When their Cannabis Act was written, to be fair, Wab Kinew was not the premier of Manitoba.
No, he
And
wasn't.
if anybody's
Correct.
going to change it, he's got a good way of getting in there, because Wab Kinew has changed so much to the point that he's taken off provincial sales tax off every product coming into the grocery store for them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, really?
Like they just took their provincial sales tax, like, off your rotisserie chickens and all, like anything from a deli, like all the stuff you get like from a grocery store that has any provincial sales tax on it. Manitoba just took it off.
Took it off.
Because he knows the prices of everything is going up so high for everything. He's trying to help. So if any province has a way of getting through with this, is that one. And again, Alberta also, like, Stampede allowed cannabis consumption in a back area too, right? So we are getting there, but that's events. That's not an actual brick and mortar. Brick and mortar, you know, like a bar, like not like you know, like a cannabis bar, so rather than a wine bar or like tapas, whatever. Like there's no brick and mortar.
Him suggesting, and I agree completely with this, and I have for a long time. You know, there's non-smokable ways of consuming cannabis. We all know that. So the excuse that you can't have a bar, you can't have it. If you can't have a cannabis consumption space because of smoke, people can consume it other ways.
I think this is the barrier that we've got, is because we don't know, like, okay, so for example, you and I can smoke and smoke and smoke, and then we can get in behind the wheel and we can drive, right? I don't consume drinks because I just don't. But if somebody's going to say in a lounge and drink like 4 or 5 of those cannabis beverages, or eat, say, too much and they green out, and you've got people passing out in chairs in your lounge, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
that would be my concern, because a lot of times people like over consume, even with alcohol, right? And it's hard to, you know, to please it. But again, when you've got people consuming, like, say, 4 gummies, and you can't police them, they buy 4 gummies, you can't tell them they have to wait 2 hours to consume them. They slam back those 4 gummies. They're good for the first half an hour that they're, you know, they've consumed, and then the next thing you know, they're rubber in a chair.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but
so
I would be
when it comes to the alcohol and the things, you know, the person's the same way. They gotta know. They should know their limit.
They should, but they're not saying they do. And
I know that. I know.
And with alcohol, as a bartender or a server, and of course, you know, this is being trained for cannabis sales too, because you took the cannabis sale out in Ontario.
Yeah.
What to look for. But again, with cannabis, it's a little harder to detect because of size of people. You know, when somebody's like intoxicated to the point where you shouldn't serve them any more alcohol, right?
They're spitting on you.
But again, if you're serving somebody maybe 1 gummy, and they should only eat half that gummy, even though you're trying to be mindful, and that person has never consumed before, and that half gummy knocks them out. How do you get them the fuck out of there? What do you do? Phone an
Well, the same way how you get when you go to a bar, you got some friends.
You call a cab and you pour them into the cab.
Like, that's you go home, yeah.
Right? You pour them into a cab, right? But again, like with people that are passed out with cannabis, they're passed fucking out. You cannot wake them up. I've had a friend that ate a gummy and was slept for 17 hours. Like, you know, so how do you get that person up and pour them into anything if you can't wake them up?
Just the same way you get that drunk in the cab. Yes. There's going to be, that's going to happen, you know, and whether it's, you know, it's alcohol, we keep comparing it to alcohol, but
vape is a lot safer than here. Here it's fucking 6 cans of some fucking drinks and 4 edibles. And next thing you know, that fucking guy sucked back 4 drinks and ate 3 cookies, and he's like, in a chair.
I know of people who consume 10 milligrams and they're done. Like done.
And I know other people that can do 5,000.
I know they couldn't stay there. They'd have to lay down.
Right, they could do 5,000 milligrams and consume 5 and function and have no issues, right? Because it's targeting their pain and it's going to their pain, right? But again, like, I don't know, I would I would rather just be vaping than having to deal with people eating and consuming that way
Yeah.
myself.
The
I know the
I
whole
like to see it
smoking thing
all. I like to have it
is the
all.
whole issue. Here's the
Yeah,
thing, the whole
smoking.
non-smoking issue, right? Like they don't want you smoking anything. My doctor, like even vaping, like I quit smoking tobacco, but I'm still vaping nicotine, right? And she's like, well, that's better, but really, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like they don't want you doing anything that's going into your lungs because we're not supposed to intake anything but air into our lungs, right?
correct. Yeah, yeah.
It's about health and safety, and that's what their bottom line is. Always. It's
You know,
about your public
maybe
health and safety.
maybe they'll limit them to 2.5 milligrams of THC. That'd be
Here's
an
your
awful.
droplet. You're only allowed
Yeah.
one droplet.
Well, they do have beverages, like that are only 2.5 milligrams. So
Oh, yeah, sure. But again, are you going to limit people to one drink? How are you going to do that? How are you going to make any money by limiting to one person to one drink? And that person's going to
well,
buy one drink for
you
$6.
don't limit you don't limit them. You don't limit them
I,
at a bar until other than the intoxication, you don't limit the number of drinks per
but there's, but again,
customer.
it's hard to detect the difference of level of intoxication with cannabis, where it's easier with
Yeah,
alcohol
it'd be harder for the bartender to
for the
be able
bartenders
to
to deal
detect
with
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But again, I guess it's going to be trial and error, right?
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
just going to
Yeah.
have to roll with it and
So
see exactly how it goes.
I've been in communication with Stephen, and I said to him that you notice that the government said that nobody has come forward or spoken to them about um, creating these consumption spaces or having them be allowed at places. And I said, that's a cue. That's for you to be that person, to get that going, to make that noise.
Hey, Saskatchewan changed a whole law after having 13 people fucking get in touch with the government. It took
Yeah, there
13
you go.
people to complain.
Yeah. Yeah. So it only takes a few people in order to get that done. So
Yeah, our
attend
first rally
his
there was
if you're in Manitoba and you're near where he's at, attend the rally.
well,
Yeah,
he's
again,
not the
there we
only
go.
activist in
420 rally.
Manitoba,
That's what his is.
right? He's just got to start gathering and go back to
Yeah.
your roots. But grassroots,
Correct.
he knows where to go. He's been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's not, he's not oblivious. He's fought hard for medical.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Well, I see it's a little past the bottom of the hour. Time for us to say goodbye. Anything else that you want to touch on before we get going? Before we say
Well,
goodbye?
cannabis substitution program needs donations, of course, as we are sitting with nothing. So it would be great if we could get that rolling again, since it's spring and our population is seems to have exploded over the winter. Our homeless shelter moved, and now they're basically roaming. My kid's bike got stolen. They just walked across the yard and picked it up and took it right out of
That's
my
not
yard.
a post.
So again, I'd like to start helping them
And that's
again.
not the
So
first bike. That's not
No,
the
that's the
first
second
bike
bike.
he's stolen.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Unfortunately, he lost the key to the lock, and that's why we had put it in the dog. I was in the dog run. It was right in front of my camera. The camera was pointing right at the fucking bike, and that's why I put it there. Figuring, okay, well, the camera's right there pointing at the bike. It's inside the dog kennel. I couldn't imagine. But again, we took the back fence down. The back fence
Mhm.
hadn't been down. Probably nobody would have seen it either, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
it just pisses me off. But again, if nobody's out there doing anything to help them, then you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Other than that, thanks to everybody for tuning in the program. Thanks to our sponsors, Limestone City, Hydroponics.ca, the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, as well as At-Eze.ca. Thanks to everybody once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow morning, catch Cindy and I doing psychedelics and cannabis educational news. We'll have 8 stories for you to find out all about, and you'll find out those 8 stories tomorrow if you watch it. So other than that, thank you once again, and we will see you all again next week. Bye-bye. Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.